previously indicated that these categories of transactional correctness don't just account for your own inwardness and outwardness, they actually account for your relationship with the other, insofar as the other is the social other. We said that if you saw things as they are, you would see that you've been given in excess of your due. You would see that the other has protected you, as if you like, had the courage to be accountable for you. You'd be grateful, you would trust, you'd submit, and you'd submit to the other, and that submission would create powerful groups or a powerful group. The last thing I'd like to explore now is how these categories actually account for not just your relationship with the other, but with the totality of the other. In other words, it actually accounts for the essence of our engagement with existence. And in order to explore what the essence of our engagement with existence would be, we need to kind of put ourselves in a situation where we really could see things as they are, by giving ourselves a sense of perspective, like this woman has. She's standing on a very high mountain, looking over a vast vista. And in a sense, this is always as it is. As an individual human being, you always are sort of surrounded by an infinity of existence. And what being on top of a mountain allows you to do is get a real sense of what that means. So if you look at this woman, she's looking out, what she's likely to be seeing in the world is sort of a landscape, sun, rocks, a sense of kind of breathtaking inspiration, beauty, sort of something that's truly sort of spectacular. In other words, something that's truly significant. And if you consider that that's what she's seeing, you know, what's she likely to feel? Well, she's likely to feel grateful. She's likely to feel at peace, a real sense of being alive, a sense of her smallness. In other words, a sense of awe. So if you give yourself the opportunity to see things as they are, what you will see is that the outward is truly significant. The seen is truly significant. And when the seer recognizes that, the seer, the inward, is in a state of awe, experiences awe. However, there are two ways in which the one who is very small can apprehend that which is vast and potentially overwhelming. You can either be in a state of awe, or you can be in a state of abject terror. And what makes it possible for you to choose awe rather than terror, it is because you root your engagement with the totality of the other in gratitude. Which means that when you look out at the world, you recognize that you've been given in excess of your due by other than you. And this is not an outrageous idea. If you consider everything that goes up to constituting you, if you like, the scaffolding of your being, the very body your consciousness is housed in, this has taken millennia to construct. If you consider all of the things that have gone before, the Big Bang, the creation of stars, the creation of solar systems, the creation of life on Earth, and then your own life, this layering up of conditions over a period of time that have produced the possibility for you to be there, and not just sort of what's happened over millennia to produce who you are, but actually your ongoing being alive. I mean, there isn't a single piece of you that hasn't come from other than you. You are not self-sufficient. You know, if we close your mouth up for a few minutes, you'll die. In other words, there's a constant stream of existence of other than you through you that enables you to be. In other words, you are granted your existence by other than you. This one who is looking out at the world is being given that place by other, and granted that place truly unconditionally. Not only have you been granted your existence by other than you, but in fact, you are looking at a world where catastrophes get withheld. You remember that when we spoke about your relationship with the social other, we said the reason why you're alive is because they had the courage to protect you from, if you like, the rest of existence. Now, in a sense, that's exactly what your relationship with the rest of life is. If you consider how many things could potentially kill you, you could be taken out by anything from a microbe to a meteor. In fact, in any given moment, the odds of a catastrophic failure and annihilation completely outstrip the odds of staying alive. So the question then is, why are you alive? Well, it can only be that the catastrophe is withheld. In other words, when you see things as they are, you will see that you are alive because of an immense boon given, if you like, and also a catastrophe withheld. In that sense, you keep yourself open. You submit to life. You allow life in. You, in a sense, submit to the power of life as it unfolds around you. You recognize that it is significant, and it's precisely that produces in you an experience of awe. You know, if the woman stood on top of this mountain and closed her eyes and refused to look, she couldn't experience awe. For her to be able to experience awe, she has to let the grandness of the landscape in. She's got to let the vista in. Unless you look at your life in a spirit of gratitude, realizing that you've been given an incalculable boon by other than you, and you look at life in the spirit of trust, submitting to your life as it unfolds, you cannot experience the very essence of what it means to be alive, which is to be in a state of awe. The highest achievement of a human life is an experience of awe. And if you don't choose that experience of awe, you will actually vote for an experience of terror. There's only two ways of being a very small one in the face of that which is vast and overwhelming. And that is to either be in a state of terror or to be in a state of awe.